Timestamp, it is March 21st, 2026. It's like right at 9 a.m. I've been up for about 20 minutes. Um, Enough to do the cat parade. Excrete, you know. Um, who let the dogs out? Me. Do some ghetto coffee action over here. That's right. In the words of Jekyll, I will not be beaten. That's right. Went to bed with Genesis of the Dialects on. It's kind of hard to top that. Woke up with the Horns of Nimon. Definitely doesn't beat that. The Genesis of the Dialects, I mean. Horns of Nimon is like, eh. Basically. It's not awful, you know. There are, however, other Tom Baker adventures I would rather watch. You know. Say. Full disclosure. Went to bed with Genesis of the Dialects on. And I might have tried not to go to sleep for a little while. You know, when your favorite song's on the radio, so you like stay in the car that extra minute until the song ends, you know. I think when I laid down, I woke up with a panic attack, so I'm like, working on it. I woke up at the very end of episode 1, and it's like Dead Man's Curve, you know. The last thing I remember, Doc. Or Mindcrime, if you want to do that instead. It's an album I need to get here. Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime. Love that album. I have it at George. I need to have Pix see if she can find it and drag it here. I only remember doing what they told me. Yeah, I think I made it to... I know I watched all of episode 2, or part 2, because, you know, they break up, old school, they broke them up into like 25, 30, basically to make a 30-minute segment with commercial, you know, insert. I made it through all of part 2. I don't think I made it through all of part 3. Yeah. But don't go away. Tonight we may lose the battle. You know. It's okay. Ronson had already had his interrogation with the Doctor and Harry, and you know, if you know the episode, you know the episode is so good. So good. It's nice to fall asleep to that. It's weird. I woke up feeling pretty optimistic, pretty positive about stuff. Got a game plan. I know what I'm going to get done today. I'm going to be working on the Lanai. Been working under... Maybe I'll film something about that later on. Kind of poking around under the tarp bivouac thing that Dad built on the other side of the pool. You know, crazy town, but just to see if maybe he tucked something there, because we're still looking again for paperwork stuff. But it would have been probably like in a big gallon bag or a big Ziploc, so hopefully it was safe from the elements. There's some like antique pocket watches that we're looking for that are supposed to go to the kids. There's some bits and bobs and heirloomy stuff that isn't where it should have been. I'm really hoping that Chuck the Wonder Idiot didn't take them, wasn't given them by Dad to, hold on to for safekeeping so the burglar didn't get them. Because if that's true, it died with him. His family would have scooped it up, or, it's in police lockup or something. I don't even know how that would work. I don't even know what the cause of death was. I'm really hopeful that he didn't take some important stuff from my dad, show it off to a friend who said, I'll take that, because I don't know cause of death. Maybe an opportunist friend took advantage of his opportunist friend. I don't know. I'm trying to prove a negative over here. Find important needles in a pile of needles. Why do I have saw flashbacks in saying that analogy? Weird. I remember that particular test scene. I think the character was like an ex-junkie or something, big pile of hypodermics. The answer was in the pile of hypodermics kind of thing. Had needles stuck in. That's this place. Cheery, right? Got some stuff done yesterday. Made the split pea with green split pea with sausage or sausage. Pam, fun size, I don't want to discriminate. Added some onion, some carrot, some celery, over baked potatoes. Tiny, who doesn't like soup, I came back and made a few more potatoes so that seconds could happen. This guy. This soup is really good. What is this? Still doing Hairway to the Stars here, because we can. Oh, he's in the window. How much is he? I loved that song when I was a kid. I put the doorknob on. Hear that click? Yeah, very, very smancy. Checking off the little things off the list. Alright. Hey, good. Ready? Nice. We can get all this stuff worked out with my dad's investment account. I can get him into our newfound vet over here. Get that eye looked at. So I'm willing to bet with. And I know this is the case because I've heard of other people having this done with their dogs and or cats, cataracts. His left eye is starting to get cloudy. But is where it sounds petty, but it's not. It's my dad's dog. Luther is still doing good, but I can't afford, with the reserves dwindling, I can't afford to take care of his dog out of my money. So this is where it starts sounding a little mercenary, but it's just practical. I hear a rattling collar. So hopefully I can get control. Oh, sorry about the giant hand. I gotta check in with her on Monday. I'm working on it. Oh man. Come on, Corey. Do that door closing sound effect. Isn't that nice? Did someone stick a battery in your butt? You're supposed to leave the zoomies outside. I don't know that we have enough space for zoomies inside. We will. I'm working on it. Gently. That was close. Tanner, you already got yours, pal. Oh, okay, Jinx wants good. Jinx, you're falling for a season, man. You're good. Come on. Yep. Grabbed the bag and he took that last step forward. Itzy's Temptations. Also not a sponsor. Check this out. They all know it, but most of them are too lazy. Jinx, however, will. Yeah, can I get through now? Thanks. God's sake. Jinx, however, when cookie time is happening, will come over and sit patiently while staring at you with Puss in Boots eyes. There we go. Oh, I got the dishwasher going too. Starting to get back on track. I may not be on my A game, but I can be on my B game and still feel good about things. I had a friend about a week ago who, and this is both encouraging and at the same time kind of, it's kind of dark. But he was like, honestly, I've watched what you've gone through the past 3 years. I don't know, probably about halfway through I would have sat in the corner with a shotgun. It's like, how are you feeling? You know, I was like, do you want to talk to somebody? Like, he was like, no, I'm fine, but I'm just like, the stuff you've been through, I don't know how you're doing it. I'm like, I don't know how I'm doing it either. Am I doing it? I think I'm doing it. I don't know. There are days I'm not doing it. There are days, today I'm not doing anything. There are days. So, just in full disclosure, there are days that I do my video and I get a couple things done. A couple hours after that, I'm just like, no, I'm going home early, hold my calls, And then I feel guilty and do more the next day. Anybody who's watching this who's into astrology is like Capricorns. And it's one of the big weaknesses of Capricorn is we feel guilty when we're not doing something. We sometimes don't know how to not. There's always that, I could have done something else, feeling in the back of our heads. Makes us great workers. Makes us great managers too, because we're good at like planning through chaos. This place doesn't disappoint. No, that's something else Pick said to me a couple months ago. She's like, because when we were first making plans, because we could see that this was coming, we didn't like do rock, paper, scissors, you know. But we knew that one of us needed to be camped here to prevent shenanigans and to begin the begin. And she was like, you know, should it be me because I won't be as emotionally hit if I come across stuff or just being in their environment? Because you're going to be in the environment of, let's just call it what it is, your dead parents. And what is that going to do to you and your psyche as you are wading through your dead parents' things? You know, the emphasis on, you know, you're grieving and you're also immersed. It's a pretty valid point. It's a pretty valid point. I was like, I think I need to be there because you're not stupid, but I'm going to have a clearer eye on what's important and what isn't because I know my family. And also because I'm not like, ooh, extra pain. Yes. I'm so excited. But I'm also going to be able to pivot better. She's an incredibly good planner, but because of the way her brain works, when things don't work according to plan, she has a tendency to not really shut down, but she really has to like go within to reevaluate everything, and it's kind of like a shutdown. So she'll plan, begin to execute, and then things will go sideways, and she has to pull way back to reevaluate, replan before she can move forward again, because her brain won't allow her to improvise nearly as much as mine does. And I was like, look, you know, we know each other and we know ourselves. And I explained my thinking there. And she was like, I know that's not a knock at me, that's reality, that is true. And I'm like, look, you'd be proud of me, I got a big old notebook. Because I have a big old like notepad full of like plans. That was me rippling the pages. You know, this is what I want to be able to do and look for in this room. This is what I want to be able to try and get accomplished in this room. This is what I want to do here. And I'm like, I know full well that half of this I'm going to wind up having to burn in the burn barrel. Because no battle plan survives the first engagement. I know, that at least some of this ain't gonna happen. Excuse me for a moment. Thank you. I know it won't. I know I'm going to get in there. I'm going to have a 10-step procedure. I'm going to get to step 3. And the things that I need in place to accomplish step 3 will not be there, and I will not be able to foresee their arrival, and I'm going to be stuck. And I'm like, you, my dear, are going to be more than stuck. You are going to curl up on the couch and rethink it for 3 days. Whereas I need to, by next morning, have a new number 3 and a new number 4. I may not plan beyond that, because at that point I'm improvising, and I can't tell you what step number 7 is going to be, because I just had to reinvent step number 3. And she was like, that's fair. She's like, are you going to be able to handle it with what will have just happened? And I told her very honestly, I don't know. Because this will be the first time that my parents have died. I have no experience to base this on. I don't know. My first time my parents died. Well, if I could reflect on the last time my parents died, then I could compare. But I have nothing to work with here. I don't know if I'm going to be, sitting in the corner crying, or if I'm going to be incredibly motivated and screaming at the roof at, the mess they've made. I do a lot of that. I find anger can be a driving force at times. Is it healthy? Probably not. But it's real. Because there's so much damage and so much broken stuff and debris and whatnot that just, man, it didn't have to be this way. It didn't. Even in 2023, Mom at least saw this coming before she started to really rapidly cognitively decline and be heavily concerned about the fish people. Still want to know what she saw, just from a sci-fi writer standpoint. It's all very Twilight Zone. Was it Eye of the Beholder? No. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. When you wake up from the surgery, you will be beautiful like everyone else. I want to know what she saw. I don't know that I want to go through that, because she was terrified. But the Rod Serling in me is like, what did you see? What were you seeing that no one else was? Because you're off your nut terrified. Are they merfolk? Are they shark men? What is this? Even with what we're having to do, still good. Hopefully I'll get to one of those coffee makers. I got distracted with looking through stuff outside. A lot of glasses, plates. Some interesting mechanical devices that my dad left out in the rain. Some antique, electric meters and things of that nature, which there were some old school kitchen scales. they don't react well to water, and they were not really covered outside. It's like an entire MASH VHS collection. Takes up the equivalent of like a medium tote or two. My dad loves, still here, loves MASH. Actually, he might not love MASH now. He might not even know what it is. And I say that not being curt. About a year ago, we were trying to find his favorite show on TV to kind of keep him occupied. I was, I think Pix was like, we're gonna find Black Sheep Squadron, put some Black Sheep Squadron on the TV for you. And he was like, Black Sheep, what is that? I'm like, it's your favorite show. Blah blah Black Sheep Squadron. What was that? Robert Conrad, I think. John Larroquette got his start on that show. It's about a squadron stationed on one of the islands during World War II. They're kind of the misfits, but they're actually really good pilots. It's your favorite TV show, has been for like 20, 30 years, maybe longer. He's like, I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of that. We got done with that conversation. Pix and I were alone. I'm like, okay, if I ever get to the point where I don't know what Star Trek is, it's time to put me in a special room. Because something has gone horribly wrong. She's like, I know. He didn't even know what it was. I'm like, But yeah, MASH was not quite obsessed with it, but for a very long time that was one of his go-tos. And we had gotten him a couple of like DVD seasons here and there that he could pop in years ago. But he's got in 3 of the like long skinny flat totes to where it's almost like a bookshelf. He's got 3 of those with the MASH collection. No idea if they have any value. Not worried about the second. Was just kind of like hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. This is not a good environment for VHS tapes, Dad. I mean, lecturing you, explaining this to you would be pointless. Would have been pointless 3 years ago. It's less pointed now. Just hanging out near the pool. Exactly. I don't know. Just an example, Found a tote of, and this may have some value to it. I know it does. Some glasses, but they're like old Coca-Cola glasses, old, and I'm not sure what restaurant was doing it, but like old DC Comics, like almost Pilsner type glasses. I saw an Aquaman, the Wonder Woman. It's like Justice League kind of characters, old school. They're probably from the 70s. I'm gonna, at one point, not this second, I got bigger things to worry about, and I can't sell that stuff this second anyway. But I'm kind of tied as far as what I can do. I can sell my stuff like crazy, and I am. Sold a Predator figure overnight. It's another like $20. It's cool. To be clear, it's not like a White House figure. It's a, Schwarzenegger, yeah, one of those. Different Predator. But yeah, I sold one of those last night, and I can sell that kind of stuff. I'm going to be doing a lot of eBay today because it's Saturday. Best listing day of the week. And I've got 30 or 40 things already separated, kind of half prepped, that I can just photograph and list. Time consuming, but it'll definitely put some jingle in my jangle. And we can use the influx of revenue right now, because Luther, it's $2,000 worth of surprise. Was not expecting that. He needs to get a job. He's only like 3-4 years old, so he's still, pretty young. Accomplished mouser. I'm thinking some kind of pest control. We're in Florida. There's a market. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he's cute. He's personable. So, you can be really good at your job, but if you come off like a raging dick, nobody's going to want to hire you. He's pretty likable, so you can probably get him hooked up with something. Kid's got a bright future. Another cream brulee. It's so good. Still not a sponsor, and I'm still not AI. I'm just a girl with a squirrel. I sing that for my girl sometimes. That's what she calls it when her manic becomes more manic. She tells me things like, "My squirrels are arguing right now. My squirrels are panicking on the bridge." In her brain, it's kind of a Enterprise-like bridge, and Slappy is in the big chair with the yellow command uniform and hat with a flower, Phasers, I said enough of the singing. Load torpedoes. It's just how her brain works. I love my girl. But yeah, checked in last night. Luther was doing pretty good. Was peeing, but was still... Everything down there is probably tender. So, it looked like he wasn't necessarily having a good time of it, but everything was working correctly at least. So, that's good. But his kidneys came back 100% when we took him in yesterday. Yesterday? Yeah. Day before. Whatever. I don't know. Lost track. Day before. They ran tests and his kidneys were 100%. Looked good. No real infection. A little bit of swelling, but yeah. So, yeah, we found a new vet. Not that we didn't like our old vet, but sorry, somebody knocked my candlestick over. We're going to be an extra 40 minutes away from our old vet. So, need to find a couple of new businesses to work with, and they impressed the hell out of us. So, they saved his life. There's no way around that. They saved Luther's life. So, $2,000. But it would have cost that much, probably at Harmony too. Because that was something Pix mentioned to me yesterday. She's like, they may cost a little more, but I really like them. I'm like, I don't know that that would have cost more. I think that was I think it was comparable. You know, they were running tests and whatnot, basically kidney infection going on day one. Excuse me. I think it might have been about the same amount, frankly. So, package-wise, where are we? We're in the 60s today. Yeah, I can work outside. I'm going to grab a shower here, though. I was going to grab a shower before I went to bed, but by the time I got to that point, I was just like, no. Ooh, Genesis Dialects, you know. I'll get one in the morning. It's the morning. So I'm probably going to get a shower. I got my laundry done yesterday. Yeah, this guy. Health check. I mean, other than the panic attack, which is subsiding, I feel pretty good. Not sure what he's barking at in his sleep. That's adorable. I'm just hearing him like chirp, chirp, chirp in the back. My acorn. So yeah, I'm gonna grab a shower, get dressed, because I'm not doing any work on my OnlyFans site today. I'm just not feeling it. And probably going to try and a few of the totes that are on the pool side of the lanai are they're glass plates and things like that, because Mom couldn't say no. And each one of them is wrapped in like almost an entire like section of the newspaper, like 4 or 5 sheets. So upside downside, they're not broken, but each one takes up about twice the room that it should. So the good side of this is, in doing the wrapping part a little bit smarter and more compact, I can actually generate more space in totes to help cushion for some of the other May that I need to be able to put into totes. I think that makes sense. So there's that. But I'm going to spend a couple hours out there before we start getting into eBay prime time and see if I can knock out 2, 3, 6 totes. Try and make some progress, figure some shite out. Because I might be able to, exactly, I might be able to knock that out, you know, with 5 or 6 or 10 mornings. Just doing a couple hours every morning, whatnot, just go through 2, 5, 10 totes. But there are a lot of totes there. There's stack 2, 7, probably 40 totes with some cardboard for no good reason whatsoever, because it's out in the rain. But that's my day. Yep. Alright. You know the drill by now, or you should. Feel free to like this. If you want to comment, we can have a conversation. I'm totally cool with that. Not lonely, you know, but if you have any questions or whatnot, or just want to say hi, cool. Hug your parents, even if. Hug your kids. Remember, it's a choice. For the most part. Make it a great day.